And little Cavante Turpin, who has made no mistakes the whole year. He's been a godsend. He's been a factor in every game because he just puts so much pressure on the coverage teams because he can escape. And yet on this punt, he was going to do too much with it. He waited too long. I thought he deserved a flag for a late, if we can see the muff punt, because he waited until the last second to call a fair catch. Look, he's calling a fair catch while the defender is running by him, the coverage guy. And he calls it so late that I think he couldn't even get his hands back in position to catch the football because he thought, I'm going to return it, I'm going to return it. Wait a second, maybe I shouldn't return it. And kaboom. All of a sudden, you give them a short field, and all of a sudden, they throw into the fray out of nowhere. I didn't see this coming, Jeff Driscoll. What do I know about Jeff Driscoll? Although I know he started at Florida, but do you remember the game in 2019? I know we came right out here the next day and talked about it because he was starting for the Detroit Lions at Detroit. And it was a 35-27 game that went to the bitter end because Jeff Driscoll was pretty good in the game because he goes about 6'5", 240-ish. And would you believe he timed 4.5 in his pro day? So he has some athletic ability. He throws it okay. He's not great, but he throws it okay. And they had a package for him of all kinds of RPOs and option plays and this and that, and where he could use his legs as well as his arm. So they cash it quickly, and all of a sudden it's 7-7. Then we get to Mike McPenalty, as I call him, although we only had 3 penalties yesterday, so that was progress.
That's a positive.
Right? Okay, that's the one positive.
Back-to-back week, I think
three penalties. Okay, so we're starting to show you that we're actually a credible professional football team that can actually hold themselves to 3 penalties a game. Okay, so now we come to a challenge play where somebody woke up Mike McCarthy on the sideline, and he actually challenged a play that was a 36-yard pass to the aforementioned Chris Moore. And I thought this was not a catch, if we could see this. And it was a crucial early play in the game because, here he goes, drop back. I think it was Davis Mills throwing that one to Chris Moore. He made a heck of a catch. It looked like, but that's not controlled going to the ground. He needed the ground to complete the catch. And to me, it was a clear overturn. Should have been overturned because he bounces on the football. And McCarthy rightfully challenged it and wrongly lost the challenge. Okay, so all of a sudden they get a 36-yard completion and they get a field goal out of it. And all of a sudden I look up and we are trailing. We're supposed to win 38-10 as a 17.5-point favorite, and we are trailing 10-7. All right, now we get a Dak pass. This was one that worked that shouldn't have worked. And I'm going to show it real quick because it's a 51-yard pass to Noah Brown, and I thought it was a terrible throw. And we got away with it because Dak escapes to his right, and he tries to throw it on the run, and it is woefully underthrown. And guess what happened? Noah Brown came back. Noah Brown had a pretty big game yesterday. So the other development was, did you notice that James Washington got a little run early in the game for the first time, number 83. All of a sudden, he comes out of nowhere. He hadn't played all year. Remember, once upon a time at Oklahoma State, he won the Biletnikoff Award. He was a second-round pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he finally was healthy enough to get some run early in the game, and Dak hit him right in the hands with a little slant route. It's his first target of the year, and he dropped it, and that was the end of him. And Noah Brown said, well, I got this.
But Skip, that was his problem in Pittsburgh.
It was his problem.
He had the drops.
Okay. So speaking of drops, let's finish with, okay, so we got the 51-yard pass, and that helped put us back up 14-10. So then we get to Dak's interception number 1. Let's see it, because this is scary to me. This is as troubling and disturbing as anything that happened yesterday. He throws it into traffic once again.
Skip, that hit Noah Brown in the hand.
Okay, but I think it got tipped by, it gets tipped by a Texan first. Would you believe that Dak yesterday had 11 passes tipped at either the line of scrimmage or in the secondary before they arrived at said target? 11 passes tipped. Would you believe that the most passes that have been tipped by any quarterback all year in the National Football League were 6? Okay, so he had 11 yesterday. He almost doubled it in one game. What is that about? So 11 of his 39 passes didn't get to the intended target before a Texan got his hand or fingertips on the football. Okay, well, that's no good. So you're throwing more and more into traffic. You're trying harder and harder to be like ridiculously good, where you're dangerously good, right?
Right.
You're throwing passes into traffic you should not risk.
They're making Skip. If you look, they played a lot of coverage too yesterday. They played a lot of coverage.
Well, I mean, Lovey's just known for it.
He's known for Tampa too.
Yeah.
And so, Skip, I'm gonna force Dak to throw the ball in the window. I'm not gonna give you wide open throws. I'm not gonna have guys running past us, or you're doing the play action and you're CD, or you have Schultz doing the over routes. So I'm gonna make you throw the ball in the windows. And he probably should have let Noah Brown clear a little more. Give the guy credit because he reached back because he was going to clear, take the flat, and he reached back and got his hand in there and he tipped it up. And the guy made a great play on it.
Okay, and then Driscoll comes right back and might have been the best throw of his life. And little Amari Rodgers, late of the Packers, catches his first NFL touchdown pass. He never caught one in Green Bay, believe it or not. If we could see this throw from Jeff Driscoll on the rollout, this is where he's most dangerous. That's pretty sweet.
That is.
And I sit back and say, we're behind 17-14. Are you believing it? And then we drive, and I'm going to show you the next drop featuring a Dallas Cowboy, Dalton Schultz, who is obviously Dak's favorite target.
Yeah, he had 10 targets
his
yesterday.
Security blanket. It's his sort of Gronk, if you will, even though he's not Gronk. But here's a throw, if I could show you one late in the first half that hits Dalton Schultz right in the hands. Okay, you got to catch that. I mean, Shannon Sharp catches this in his teeth.
But see, he worried about that.
Okay, I know. I got it because he's taking a bunch of shots.
Yeah, he saw that safety coming like, whoa.
Okay, I'm just saying you got to catch that.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
And that's when I started to think, is this really going to happen? Because we have to settle for a field goal, and it's 17-17, which brings me to the third quarter and the play of the game. Donovan Wilson rips the ball out of little Pierce's hand, and all of a sudden it's loose on the carpet.
Right.
And guess who picks it up?
Trayvon Diggs.
Here we go. Ball is loose. Diggs gets it, and he retreats. And I said, no, go forward. No, don't do it. No, don't. We're going to lose 30 yards on this. And then duck and dodge, and he escapes. And I actually thought he had a chance to go at that point because it's two offensive linemen.
Man, he's exhausted.
He's exhausted. Trayvon Diggs, who runs for a living, ran out of gas.
Not like that, though, Skip.
Yeah.
you told him to go straight ahead, but he ran like 40 yards back to get 20 yards.
Because if he had been able to accelerate at that point, I think the offensive line were equally gassed, and I don't think they would want any part of trying to get him on the ground. I think he might have been able to score. But at least he scooped, if not scored.
Right.
But at least we suddenly had the football, and we blasted all the way down to a 4th and goal at the 1, and more trouble. Here we go. And this is Zeke. This team is still heavily Zeke dependent, and I don't love this.
Skip,
I just don't love it. And they just say, plow horse, plow up the middle.
Can I ask you a question? If that was Tony Pollard, you think Tony Pollard would have got that ball? Look at nobody blocks 25.
Okay. I don't like the play call.
Okay.
I don't like lining Zeke up and saying, let's go strength on strength. Let's go man to man, right? Manhood to manhood.
Right.
We're just going to blow you off the football. No, you didn't blow him off the football. And all of a sudden, I look up, and Zeke loses 2 yards on the play. And again, if Tony Pollard's in, I want to toss it to him. I want to get him on the edge. I want to do something. I want to do a little misdirection. I want to do some Kyle Shanahan.
Well, Dak should have pulled that old Peyton Manning. Remember what he did to you guys?
Yeah, he did.
He kept it, and he's over handoff, and then he kept it and walked into the end zone.
Well, any of that would work for me, but they just said power on power. And I just don't think Zeke is that guy anymore. I don't think even Zeke can do that. And you just went over the carries. You saw what happened.
Yeah.
Zeke got 15 carries and had 62 yards. Pretty good, 4.1. Tony Pollard touched it 10 times for a grand total of 42 yards, which is 4.2.
Right.
I need more touches for Tony Pollard. That is deeply disturbing to me.
Well, you got his touches, Skip. He got you. Skip, they already done told you now. They're trying to keep the man touches somewhere in that range of 12 to 18.
Okay, I just don't love it. Okay, now we get to interception number 2, which is thrown from the end zone.
That's cover 2. What does Dak see?
His arm got swiped because Josh Ball was in for Terrence Steele, who may be hurt. I don't know what the end of it is, but it didn't look good or sound good after the game. If we could see what happened, Dak's right arm obviously tries to throw, gets a little bit just swiped, kind of side swiped. And I'm with you. I don't know what he's seeing. I don't know what he's trying to pull off. It didn't look open even if it was a clean throw, right? Doesn't look open if it's a clean throw. And all of a sudden, I look up, and they have it 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm thinking, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking you about to go down 10 points with about 3 minutes to go.
And my defense rose, and it's shown.
They did.
And I'm going to show you 4 quick plays here because these are championship caliber plays. Because the first play is old Rex Burkhead, Brady's ex-friend. And then here we go again. This play I thought had scored. That's to Chris Moore. And Watkins got him barely down at the 40-yard line. And then we got the blow up by D. Law. And then we got the play you hated the most. I have no idea what that was. I don't even see anybody in the vicinity.
I don't know if he was supposed to keep going that way because it looked like some of the blockers, like we thought you was going to run a quarterback. I don't really.
Okay, so the key play there is the third down play because DeMarcus Lawrence just blows it up.
Skip, everybody knows D. Law's going to knife.
Yeah.
That's what he did. That's how he got the ball out of Detroit.
You know what? He is the master at knifing.
Yeah.
He is. And he's very explosive at doing just that. Okay, and all of a sudden, here comes Dak going Baker Mayfield. And it's 98 yards. We got plenty of time left, but if we could see the 5 plays that he makes to get us set up for the touchdown here. These are all the Dak plays in a row. And these are all big time, just big time. That's to Dalton Schultz. That gets you out of jail. And just went right over the top of the cover 2. And then he escapes, and it was pretty good. He doesn't have the speed he used to have in the first couple of years, but that works. I'll take that all day long to Dalton Schultz. He loves to throw it to Dalton Schultz, and this is the throw of the game to me.
Yep.
To Noah Brown.
Cover 2, high loaded.
And what a good catch it was by Noah Brown. And then he goes right back to Dalton Schultz. That was a good throw and a very good gutsy catch.
Right.
And that sets up the play at the goal line for Zeke, and it fooled me because Zeke did score on this one because they spread it out. They didn't just say, we're coming right at you. And I thought they were going to throw it, and Zeke just drives it right up the gut, and they didn't have enough bodies in the middle of the field to stop that. And all of a sudden I look up, and it's 27-23, and would you believe it's the first time we've gone back-to-back winning seasons since 1996, the year in which was the last year we went to the championship game and then went and won the Super Bowl.
Right.
So it's been that long since we had back-to-back 10 wins.